Today, I'll introduce how LaiCai Flow calls large language models through its two LLM nodes. Before using these nodes, you need to configure them. They call external, paid APIs provided by model providers. In the LaiCai Flow window, open LLM Settings. On the right, find the Runtime LLM Nodes section. It contains separate settings for Text Analyze Node and Image Analyze Node. For each node, choose a provider. The current options are OpenAI, Claude, and DeepSeek. Then select one of the models available under that provider. For example, Claude currently offers multiple model choices in this list. DeepSeek currently shows one Pro model here. More providers and models will be added as LaiCai Flow continues to improve. After choosing the provider and model, enter your API key and save the settings. Without a valid saved API key, these model calls cannot be used. Next, I'll explain how to use both LLM nodes in detail. Hi everyone, today I'll introduce a new node called Image Analyze. It sends an image to a large language model through the provider's API, then returns the model's analysis. First, create an Image Analyze node. Open the LLM category, select Image Analyze, and click Create Node. Now let's inspect its parameters. Instruction is where you write the request that will be sent to the model. For this example, enter, "Please tell me what is shown in the picture." Image Analyze also needs a source node that provides an image. Create Screen Capture from the Vision category. Screen Capture captures the current mirrored screen and passes that image to Image Analyze. This instruction is intentionally simple. For a professional workflow, you can write a more detailed prompt for your own needs. Set source node to screen capture and data to use to artifact. Next, define the structured data that the model should return in output fields. For this demonstration, add a field named image_desk and set its type to text. Other output types are also available, depending on the data your workflow needs. You can even ask the model to return coordinates using types such as point or rect. This example is simple, so description and example can remain empty. Save the node, then run the flow. The screen has been captured. Image analyze may take a little time while it waits for the model provider's API response. The response has now returned, so open the latest output. The structured output includes the image_desk field that we requested. Its value describes the mobile browser screenshot and the visible page elements. The output also includes status information, response details, the model, and the provider. To retrieve only the description, add a pick field node. Select Image Analyze as the source node and Structured JSON as data to use. Set field path to image_desk, which is the field we configured earlier. Save the node and run the flow again. The execution succeeds, and pick field outputs only the requested description. You can also combine this workflow with scheduled tasks. Capture screenshots at the required time and let the model analyze them. How you use the result depends on the needs of your own work. That completes this introduction to Image Analyze. I'll create more detailed examples later and share them in our community forum. That's all for today. Thanks, everyone. Hi, everyone. Today I'll introduce a new node called Text Analyze. It is similar to Image Analyze, but it sends text to the configured model and returns the structured result you request. First, create a Text Analyze node. Like Image analyze. It needs an instruction. For this example, ask the model to summarize the text in Chinese. The source text comes from the phone screen, so first create an OCR node. OCR reads the text from the entire screen, then passes it to Text Analyze. Keep the OCR configuration at its defaults and use the full screen, then save the node. If you are not familiar with OCR, see the dedicated OCR node tutorial. Use OCR as the source node for Text Analyze and pass its items output. We want Text Analyze to return one field, named Result. Set the field type to text. Then save the node. Next, add a pick field node. Select Text Analyze as the source node and Structured JSON as data to use. Set field path to result, the property that we just configured, then save. Now let's test the flow in step mode. Start at entry. The next step runs OCR and reads the text shown on the screen. The screen text has now been read successfully. Text Analyze receives the OCR content and sends it to the configured model. After the model finishes its analysis, the next step retrieves the result with pick field. The flow has finished, and the result is now available. Latest input shows the structured data passed from Text Analyze. Pick field extracts result and places it in the latest output value. The model summarized the English article in Chinese, and the result looks good. That completes this introduction to Text Analyze. When using it, configure the instruction and output fields for your own situation. For example, you can ask the model to return an array or other structured data. Everyone's needs are different, so use the node in the way that best supports your own workflow. That's all for today. Thanks, everyone.